Hi everybody, welcome to your virtual yoga studio. My name is Megan, and in just a couple minutes we are going to get started in a power flow class. As per a lot of requests, we are going to get into hips, hip mobility, hip flexibility, hip strength. You're gonna be sore tomorrow, or at least I was sore this morning after doing it last night. So yeah, we're gonna get into a lot of hip strength, and we'll get started in just a couple minutes. I know I'm on a little bit early, and I just wanted to make sure I give people time to sign on. As always, I made a playlist for you. So if you have Spotify, head over to Spotify. My username is Megan of the Moon, and it's M-E-G-A-N. And then our playlist today is called Quarantine Yoga. So head over to Spotify, check that out. I'm gonna give you a couple minutes to get prepared on your mat. If you have blocks, 2 blocks would help you out today. Not super necessary. If you wanna grab a couple blocks, you can. All right, set yourself up. I'm gonna check to make sure we're all good here. All right, looking good. All right, so there is one thing I wanted to show you really quick before we get into our flow, and it's just a really tricky transition that we're getting into. So I'll show you that really quick, and then we'll go through it a few times in our flow. So we're gonna be in a pigeon pose at one point in our flow. And then from our pigeon, you're gonna sit into your hips, and you're gonna start to heel toe your front foot to your inner thigh. So now you're facing the long side of your mat. We'll do a stargazer, and then we're gonna stretch up and over to the left. And then this is where the tricky transition comes in. After our stretch here, we're gonna end up in a side plank facing the other side of the room. Crazy, I know. So we'll work on it together. So you're gonna start to lift out of your stretch. Right arm will come down, you'll start to lift your hips. Left hand will come down, you'll start to turn. And then we're gonna end up in a side plank with a lifted knee facing the other side of the room. All right, so I'll give you a few chances to try that out. I'll explain it in our flow, and it should start to feel comfortable by the end of the class. All right, you guys ready? We're gonna get started in the back of our mats in a seat. So any seated position that feels good. I'm gonna go with just a traditional cross-legged seat. Bring your hands to your knees, palms facing up. Roll your shoulders back 1 or 2 times. And then just start to close your eyes. If you got my playlist going, start that playlist now. Take a couple deep breaths here. In through your nose, fill up. Out through your mouth. Start to center, grounding down, feeling that connection between your sits bones and your mat. Feeling a rise and the fall of your chest, the expansion and the contraction with your breath. Start to create an intention for today's class. This can be something simple, really trying to focus on breath and movement, maybe getting out of that self-talk and just into the body. It can be something more profound, something spiritual, something emotional, something that you're working on internally. Your intention can be anything that comes to you. Start to harness in that intention, focus, give it breath, inhale, exhale. On your next inhale, start to blink your eyes open. Flip over your palms so that they're on your knees, kind of grabbing your knees. And then inhale, cow pose. Press your belly out. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Let your head and neck fall back. Exhale, cat. Chin is going to draw to your chest. Belly is going to hollow out. You're going to start to kind of lean back here so you get some resistance against your knees. Your knees will lift off the mat. You're going to stretch in the back of your neck all throughout your spine. Inhale, cow. Belly presses out. Shoulder blades squeeze. Head and neck lift. Exhale, cat. Rounding it forward. Leaning back. Oh yeah, I can definitely feel this one along my spine. It's so different teaching morning classes. Take a couple of these at your own pace. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. Or vice versa. I'm so used to teaching the evening classes where I'm at least somewhat warmed up. I've walked around throughout the day or done something. But these morning classes, man, waking up tight. So let's make sure we get a nice, slow warm up in. Inhaling cow, pressing your belly out. Exhale, cat. Last one. And inhale back to a neutral spine where we started. And we're gonna start to just take a forward fold. Walking your fingertips forward. Let your head hang between your biceps. Feel your low back and your hips turn on. Couple breaths here. And on your next inhale, you're going to start to walk your fingertips back. Start to sit up into your seat. Bring your hands back behind you, uncross your ankles, bring your feet down to the mat. If you need to scoot yourself up a little bit, you can. Hands are out behind you, and you're gonna cross your right ankle over your left knee, making a figure four. Right toes are flexed, and then we're just gonna get some hip mobility going. So you're just gonna find a kind of tick-tock in the legs and hips. So just rocking left and right. From side to side. You're gonna take this a couple more times. Obliques start to turn on a little bit here as well. Getting used to getting that twist of the spine, the low back. Take your last one. And then on your next one towards the left, we're gonna come all the way into a seat. So your right foot is gonna actually come down to the floor. You're kind of at a funky angle towards the side of your mat. Right knee is crossed over your left. And then you're drawing that right hip down. So if you have a lot of lift, try to draw it down. Right hand is gonna come behind your right hip. Inhale your left arm high. Exhale, we're gonna find a twist. Look over your right shoulder. Bring your left arm to the outside of your right knee. You can bend through your elbow or you can straighten your arm, whatever feels best for you this morning. On your inhale, sit up nice and tall. And then on your exhales, twist a little bit deeper. Wringing out those internal organs. Last breath here. Start to take that arm out from underneath you. Bring your hands back behind you. Come back into your figure four. Cross that ankle, coming into the other side. Left foot is going to cross on top of your right knee. Now, if this is a little tight, just walk that right foot out. You don't have to be up here in your chest. This is the very first stretch of class. So you can walk that foot out a little bit if you need to. And then we're going to start to rock left and right. Getting those nice twists. Getting almost like a foam roller kind of on the outside of your hip glute area. Make sure you have a slight bend in your elbows so you're not locking out your joints behind you. Take about 2 more. And then on your next one, your left foot is going to come all the way down to the floor and you're going to come into a seat. Crossing left knee over right. Make sure you're grounding this left hip down. Make sure you don't get a lot of lift like I did in the beginning. Ground that hip down. Even if your knees don't stack right on top of each other, that's okay. Left hand comes behind your left hip. Inhale your right arm high. Exhale, twist, look over your left shoulder. Right arm comes to the outside of your left knee. Looking over your shoulder. Inhale, finding length in your spine. Exhale, take that twist a little bit deeper. Couple more breaths here. Inhale, come back around. Hands come behind you, back to your figure four. Uncross your ankles. And then we're gonna roll over into a tabletop position. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Inhale, cow pose. Just like we did in our seat. Arch your back, drop your belly. Exhale, cat. Round through your spine. Chin to chest. Pop up that space between your shoulder blades. Inhale, cow. Belly drops. Chin and tailbone lift. Exhale, cat. Start to add on any movements that feel good in your body. Maybe barrel rolling through the spine. Maybe walking your hands to one side of the mat, sitting your hips to the other. Maybe finding a child's pose. We skip child's pose today. Whatever you do on one side, make sure you do it on the other side as well, evening out through both of your sides. I'm gonna give you a few more breaths here to take whatever you need. Maybe roll out your neck, flip around your palms, get into your wrists. If you take my classes, you know that I love to roll up onto my knees. So maybe you roll up onto your knees, lift your toes. Windshield wiper your legs left and right. Just starting to kind of wake up through the spine, through the hips. Oh, my hips are tight. You guys are gonna feel like this tomorrow. It'll be good though, I promise. You asked for it. All right, woo. 12 people here with me, that's what I like to see. Good morning, yogis. All right, start to make your way back to your tabletop position when you're ready. Stacking our joints, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Let's bring our knees together to touch, actually. And then you're going to send your left leg long behind you. You're finding a flex in your toes. So your toes are facing the ground. Pressing evenly through both of our hands and starting to grip with our fingertips as well so we don't have a lot of pressure on the wrists. From here, find some external rotation in your hip. Flip your toes towards the left. Take an inhale. Exhale, you're gonna crunch left knee to left tricep. Ooh, turn on those obliques. Try to find equal pressure between your hands. Inhale, press it back. Toes come back to facing the floor. And then on your exhale, you're gonna cross your left toes over your right leg, looking over your right shoulder towards your toes. Let's pause in this first one, get that stretch to our left side bodies. Your left toes should be tucked, and you're kind of pressing your heel back. And I'm feeling this all through my left side. Let's come back to the center, and then we're gonna flow with that twice. So inhale your left leg high. Flip those toes, and then exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, press it back. Exhale, cross toes, look over your shoulder. Inhale, back to the center. Flip your toes out. Exhale, crunch to your tricep. Inhale, press it back. And exhale, cross your toes, look over your right shoulder. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left knee down to the mat. Send your right leg back this time. Right toes are gonna flex down to the mat. Left toes can be tucked or flat on your floor, whatever feels best. Find your stance, pressing your heel towards the back of the room, and then open up your toes to the right, external rotation in your right hip. Inhale. Exhale, knee to tricep, crunch it in, get that oblique. Inhale, press it back, toes come back to facing the floor. Exhale, cross your right toes over your left leg, look over your left shoulder. Pausing here on this one for a few breaths. Stretching through that right side. Your next inhale, come back to center. And then let's flow twice. Flip your toes to the right. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, cross toes to the left. Look over your left shoulder. Inhale, back to center. Flip your toes. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, cross toes. Look over your left shoulder. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, back to your tabletop position. Now my wrists are feeling kind of sore already, so I'm gonna sit back. If your wrists are also feeling sore, let's sit on our hips, or on our heels rather, and just roll these babies out. roll them out, flick them out. Maybe bring them down to the mat, flip your fingers towards your knees, slight bend in the elbows. I know you guys have been hangboarding because you're preparing for that hangboard challenge, that hangboard league. So this is really good after hangboarding. Flipping your fingers around, slight bend in the elbows so you really get into the forearms, the wrists. Couple more breaths here, taking whatever you need into your wrists. And then when you're ready, meet me in a downward facing dog. Bringing your hands down to the mat, tuck your toes, use your core, lift your hips high and back. Start to pedal out your feet if that feels good, bending one knee and then the other. As you bend one knee, drive the opposite heel down towards your mat. Get that stretch in the low calf Achilles. Take any other movements that feel good in your downward facing dog, or just find some stillness. Sometimes I like to just stay still and try to drag my heels towards the mat. Oh, my hammies are so tight this morning. Everything feels tighter in the morning. I have respect for you morning yogas. I usually take my classes in the afternoon and in the evening. Lengthening through your spine, pressing belly towards thighs. On your inhale, lift up onto the balls of your feet, heels come high. Exhale, drop your heels as close as you can to the mat, even if you need to bend your knees a little bit. Turn the hammies on, breathe here. And then you're gonna start to walk your hands back towards your feet. We're gonna make our way into Ragdoll Uttanasana. Feet should be about hip width distance apart. You're gonna bend through your knees and grab onto opposite elbows. Let your head hang, look in between your legs. Nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Keep your knees nice and bent. This is more about the decompression of the spine than the hamstring stretch. So bend through your knees. Maybe sway the elbows left and right. I like to play around with shifting my weight forward and then back. And then you're gonna release your fingertips down to the mat once you're feeling pretty good. Heel toe your feet back together to touch. Big toes to touch, sliver of space between your heels and a slight bend in your knees. On your inhale, we're gonna roll up to standing, but we're gonna take like 4 breaths. So you're going as slow as you can. Chin stays on your chest. Feel every vertebrae as you roll up. Really starting to open up, wake up through the spine. Slow, slow, slow rolls. Once you get to the top, roll your shoulders back once, and then draw your hands to heart center. Close your eyes. Thumbs come to sternum. Feel that connection. Ground down through the 4 corners of your feet. Feel nice and centered and grounded, even though we're cutting off our sense of sight. Take some nice deep breaths here. Draw your shoulders down your back. Sound strong and tall. Visualize yourself growing roots through the center of your feet, down to the earth, grounding you down, keeping you centered here in this space. Press palms against one another. And make this more active to pull your kneecaps up. Pull your low belly up and in. Take an inhale through your nose, fill up. Grounding exhale. Inhale, blink your eyes open. Draw your right knee out in front of you, Ekapada Tadasana, and then bring your hands to your hips. Start to ground down through the big toe of your standing foot, flex your lifted toes. And then we're gonna find some circles in the hip. Getting into that mobility, circle them out 3 times. And then start to circle them in the other way. Try to keep your balance. I know it's a little bit tricky to balance and open through the hips. I'm wobbling. If you're wobbling, that's all right. Stretch it out. And then once you have 3 on each side, come back to center, where we started. Take a slight bend in your left knee, and then step that right foot all the way forward until you get into your lunge. Bring your hands down to the mat, and then stretch it out. Let that left knee hover above the mat. Press into your hip flexors. And then take any stretches that feel good. Maybe straighten out your front knee. Maybe drop onto your back knee. I always like to kind of roll onto the outside edges of my feet, look over my right shoulder. Oh. Opening up through the hips and the hammies. Maybe a nice half split here. All right, once you're feeling pretty good, make your way back towards your low lunge. Plant your palms and find high plank. Step your right foot back to meet your left. Shoulders, hips, ankles in alignment. We're gonna go through a super slow chaturanga, so maybe take this first one on your knees. On your inhale, shift forward onto your toes. Exhale, mid-plank. Lower halfway. Keep your elbows in tight, squeezing your ribs. Try not to let your shoulders dip lower than your elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog, flip to the tops of your feet. 4 points of contact here, thighs are off the mat, pressing out of your shoulders. Big stretch into the low back. And exhale, down dog, use your core to lift your hips high and back. Rolling back over your toes. Take an inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. That's our chaturanga. We'll do quite a few in class, so always the option to skip it, go high plank down dog. Always the option to take it on your knees, so you can really focus on your alignment, keeping elbows tight and by your sides. Always the option to add extra push-ups if you're a chaturanga lover. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not, so I feel you either way. All right, from here, start to walk your hands back towards your feet, making our way back into that ragdoll position, but this time, we're gonna interlace our fingers behind our head. Still bending through the knees. Swaying left and right if that feels good. Decompressing through the spine. Interesting. When I do it this way, I feel it in my low back, but when I grab onto opposite elbows, I feel it in my upper back and neck. I wonder if you guys feel the same. I've never noticed that before. All right. Start to release your fingertips down to the mat. Heel toe your feet back together, big toes to touch, sliver of space between the heels. Our last slow roll, take your time, enjoy this. Chin stays on the chest. Roll it up, nice and slow. Roll your shoulders back at the top, and then bring hands to heart center, Samasthiti, thumbs to sternum. Our last little bit of stillness before we start to move in class. Start to get our heart rates up a little bit. So start to feel the silence, marvel in it a little bit. Ground down, turn it on, maybe reconnect to your intention that you set in the beginning of class. Give breath, give life to that intention. Big inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale, ground down. Inhale, blink your eyes open. Draw your left knee up in front of you, Ekapada Tadasana, one-legged mountain pose. Bring your hips, hands to your hips. Flex through your toes, your left toes. Right toes are grounding down into the mat. And then take those big hip circles, open it up. Can you tell that I'm preparing your hips for some big things? Oh, I am. Circle it out in one direction, circle it out in the other direction. Doesn't have to be pretty, just starting to kind of oil up that joint. Ooh, if you fall, that's all right. We all fall. And then make your way back to center, where we started. Start bend in the right knee, and then take a huge step forward. Nice control. Bring your fingertips down to the mat. Let your right knee hover above the mat and press into that right hip flexor a couple times. Don't worry about your alignment here, stacking joints, just press into that hip. Stretch it out. And then take whatever you need. Straighten out through the front leg if you want. Drop your back knee. Come into a standasana. That's always one of my favorites when I'm a little bit more warmed up. Not this morning. Look over your shoulder. Ooh, whatever you need here. Nice little half split since I did it on the other side. Last couple breaths here, stretch it out. And then when you're ready, make your way back to your low lunge. Plant your palms, step your left foot back to meet your right. Inhale, shift forward slightly. Exhale, mid-plank, head and elbows tight. Inhale, upward facing dog, flip to the tops of your feet. And exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips high and back. Inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. That's the last time I'll walk you through the chaturanga. From now on, I'll just cue chaturanga so you know where to go. High to low plank, up dog, down dog. All right, from here, doing something a little different. Inhale your heels high and look forward. This time we're gonna travel to the top of our mat. Taking a slight bend in your knees at the top. Inhale, chair pose, hips low, arms high. Set your way down and back into your heels. Maybe you even lift your toes. If you have a big arch in your back, turn your core on. Tuck your tailbone in. Pinkies facing forward. Inhale. Exhale, chair plane. Sweep your arms back. Sit a little bit lower. Palms facing the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Triceps are on. Inhale, Ekapada Tadasana. Left knee lifts to 90. Arms lift up overhead. Grab down through the big toe of the standing foot. You've been here before. Exhale, figure four across your left ankle over your right knee. Hands come to heart center. Take your time to sit your hips back. Like you're pressing your booty against the back wall. And then from here, we're gonna take 3 little squats in our figure four. So they're really little movements. On your inhale, you're gonna lift your hips a little bit. Exhale, you're gonna squat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squat. Find your balance, but get depth in that hip, in that glute. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squat. Now on this one, we're gonna keep squatting low. Low, low. We're gonna get all the way onto our backs in figure four. Let's see if we can make it an elegant transition. I'm feeling tight, so I don't know how it's gonna go. All the way down to the floor, and then eventually, oh, you're gonna roll onto your back. Okay, that wasn't the most elegant transition. But maybe one day we'll get there. You gotta use a lot of core control and a lot of hips. All right, so we've all made it to our backs, hopefully safely, and we're still in our figure four. From here, you're gonna slide your hands through the holes in your legs, interlace your fingers around your hamstring. Left toes are flexed, as are your right toes. Once you have your hamstring, try to draw your shoulders down to the mat, chin towards chest. Pull that leg in towards your body. Big stretch in the hips. Maybe you rock left and right. That feels good. Keep your right heel down by your glute. A lot of times in class I see this because it kind of just comes automatically, but I want you to drop that heel down because we're going to get to that straight leg in a second. So maybe you rock it left and right. Pull it in. Stretch through the hip. Hold still for a couple breaths. And then you're going to straighten out through your right leg. Now you're going to crawl your hands up your leg. Grab onto your calf, your ankle, your toes, whatever you can find. Take a nice big stretch. Use your biceps to pull that leg in towards your body. Now you're getting into the hamstrings, and you're still getting into that right hip glute area. All right, walk your hands, if you're at your ankle or something, walk your hands down by your calf, maybe interlace your fingers, or just find a nice grip on your calf. And now we're gonna start to find some momentum. We're gonna rock it forward and back. Finding our momentum, eventually, we're gonna roll all the way up, try to use your core, and then we're gonna come into a forward fold with those same legs. So your right leg is long, and you have your left leg in this figure four. And now you're finding a forward fold. More hips, more hammies. We're gonna need them. Take a couple deep breaths here. I'm even starting to feel this in my low back. So you can kind of rock left and right to open up through the low back a little bit. And then your next inhale, start to sit up into a seat. All right, so we have our figure 4 legs. You're gonna grab onto your left foot and see if you could draw it a little bit closer to your hip crease. So as if you were doing that hot tree pose, standing, but you're bringing that heel in towards your hip crease as much as you can. All right, from here, we're gonna get into half lotus. Now, I can't fully do half lotus, but I'm working on it, so I'm throwing it in here. And if you can't do it, no worries. It's super hard. It requires a lot of shoulders, a lot of hips. So, left leg is crossed. You're gonna reach your right hand for the outside of your left knee, and then you're gonna reach your left arm behind your back. So the top of your hand, not your palm, is touching your back, your side body, whatever you can find. And then you're looking over your left shoulder. One day, your peace fingers will touch your big toes. If it's not today, that's all right. It's not today for me either. Look over your shoulder, find that twist, find that bind. Just a couple breaths here. And exhale, come back around. Lift your left leg, cross your legs, roll over, plant your palm, step back into high plank, and then flow through your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. In through your nose, out through your mouth, pull it down. All right, let's get into the other side. Inhale your heels high, look forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Slight bend in your knees. Inhale, chair pose, hips low, arms high. Weight is down and back, pinkies forward. Exhale, chair plank. Sweep that arm back, both arms back. Inhale up to Ekapada Tadasana, right knee lifts. Grounding down through the big toe, flex through your lifted toes. From here, find your figure 4. Cross your ankle over your knee, bring your hands to heart center, sit your hips down and back. Once you're here, we're gonna find our squats. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, start to lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Now we're going to take it all the way onto our backs. So take it slow. See how low you can go. Does this side feel a little bit better? I don't know. If you need a little bit of assistance with the hands, you can take it, rolling all the way onto our back. Making our way onto our figure 4. Still not as graceful as I would like it to be, but hey, we're working on it. Gotta loosen up in those hips. All right, once we get down to our figure 4, slide your hands through the holes in your legs, interlace your fingers behind your hamstring, let your foot, your heel kind of fall down towards your glutes. Pull that leg in towards your body. Draw your shoulders down to the mat, chin comes slightly to your chest. Breathe it out. Big stretch. Maybe you rock left and right if that feels good. Okay, nice deep compression. And then you're going to straighten out through your left leg. From here, you're going to start to walk your hands up your left leg. And then you're going to pull that leg in towards your body, bend through your elbows. Take a nice deep stretch. And then we're going to start to walk our hands back down towards our calf, or you can keep them on your ankle, however you're feeling. And we're going to start to find our momentum to rock forward and back. Momentum and core. So you're going to rock, and then once you get to the top, you're going to really turn on your core so that you don't just flop to the ground. You take it a little bit slower. That was a bit of a flop, but that's all right. We're working on it. Find your forward fold. Draw nose towards knee as much as you can. Getting an even deeper stretch here. And on your inhale, start to rise up into a seat. And we're gonna find that half lotus pose. Grab your right foot, bring it in towards your hip crease. Now, if this doesn't feel good on your knee, then you can just keep it in the center of your thigh. You don't have to bring it way in and put that pressure on your knee if it doesn't feel good. All right, foot into hip crease. Take your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Bring your right arm around your back. Top of your hand is along your back. Oh, I feel a little closer on this side. I can feel a foot. Oh yeah. Not quite to the big toe, but I'm getting there. How are you guys doing? Open through your shoulder, look over your shoulder. Big opening. Last breath here. And make your way back around to the center. Lift your right leg, slide your left leg underneath, roll over your knees, plant your palms, step back into high plank, and then flow through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take an inhale through your nose, fill up. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Big lion's breath. Alrighty, we are moving on. Our hips are nice and ready for it. Inhale your right leg high. Exhale, half pigeon. Draw your right knee towards your right hand. Left foot towards your left hand. Back leg is long, toes untucked. Now I don't want you to use your block on this if you usually do because we're not here for long. So avoid that block because we're going to be doing a funny transition that you can kind of get that block stuck in. So you don't want that. Finding our pigeon. Fingertips are going to come out in front of us. We're going to take 2 rolling pigeons. So inhale, take a little baby back bend. Look up. Exhale, start to bend through your elbows like chaturanga. Arms, roll it down. Forehead or chin will touch the mat. Inhale, roll up nice and slow. Keep your chin on your chest. Feel that stretch along the back of your neck. Look up at the top and then take the second roll at your own pace. Take your little baby back bend first. After you look up, you're going to come back to your traditional half pigeon. From here, you're going to start to sit into your right hip, opening up to the sides towards the long edge of your mat. Sitting into your left hip as well. You're going to heel toe your right foot towards your inner thigh. We're going to come into stargazer from here. So from here, you're going to bring your right hand behind you. Left arm is out in front of you. Inhale, stargazer. You're going to roll forward onto your right shin, pressing your hips forward, reaching your left hand behind you. Slight bend in your right elbow so you're not locking out your joints. Getting into a little bit of a, kind of like a half camel. Big through the back as well as the side bodies. Keep your inhale. Exhale, you're going to sit back into your hips. And then your left arm is going to reach all the way around for the outside edge of your left foot. Right arm reaches up and over, so you're getting a nice rainbow stretch. Keep the shoulder open. Keep your gaze up. So you feel that in the oblique, side body. All right, here comes our big transition. Are you ready? Somehow, we're gonna end up in a one-legged side plank towards the other side of the room. Option to drop your bottom knee or forearm once you get there. All right, inhale, rise up. Exhale, right hand down to the mat. Your hips are gonna lift. Left hand is gonna come down to the mat. You're gonna twist to the other side. Right knee lifts up high. Right arm lifts high, side plank towards the opposite side. Option to drop to the bottom knee or your forearm here. Inhale, lengthen out. Press your right heel forward. Reach your right arm high. Exhale, knee to elbow crunch. If they don't touch, it's okay. Keep your knee where it is. Inhale, right arm high. Exhale, high plank with knee to nose. Right hand comes back down to the mat. Right knee stays lifted. All right, how'd that go? First time can be a little tricky. We'll get used to it. Stay here for your inhale. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Low lunge. Drop your back knee. Inhale, your arms high. Low crescent lunge. Keep your back toes lifted here, or tucked rather. Exhale, you're gonna cactus out your arms. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Finding your little back bend, press forward into your front knee. Big stretch along the left hip flexor. Breathe here. Puff your chest up, keep that balance going. Stay for your inhale. Exhale, you're gonna let your fingers kind of fall down to the mat. Chin is gonna come to chest. You're gonna roll it forward. Fingers rise along the mat. And then inhale, back up. Exhale, baby back bend. We're flowing through this. Let your hands come down towards the mat. Round through your spine. Fingers drag. Inhale, rise up. Last one. Exhale, baby back bend. Drop your fingers down. Now, keep your back toes tucked, because on this last one, on your inhale as you rise up, you're gonna lift your back knee. Crescent lunge. All right. Once you get there, keep a slight bend in your front knee, up on the ball of your back foot, pressing energy out of your heel, pinkies facing forward, inhale. Exhale, airplane arm crescent, sweep your arms back. Palms facing the floor, chest comes slightly forward. Front knee still stacked over your ankle, triceps are on, squeezing shoulder blades, lifting palms. Inhale, Ekapada Tadasana, left knee lifts. Up to 90, we've been here before. If it's wobbly, that's all right. Find that balance, press down through the big toe of your standing foot. And exhale, figure four, left ankle crosses over your right knee. Hands come to heart center as you press your hips back. Now we're gonna hold this one for 3 breaths. Keep your chest lifted. Inhale, rise back up. Ekapada Tadasana. Left knee lifts. Exhale, open arm twist to the left. Left arm back. Right arm forward. Twist comes from the core. Keep your hips squared. Find your balance. Ground down through the big toe. Inhale, step your left foot all the way through 5-pointed star. Whew, some relief in the hips, finally. Heels in, toes out, just for a moment. Palms facing forward. And exhale, horse, back into the glutes and the quads and the hips. Shoulders are gonna stack over your hips. Bring your hands down to your knees. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, look over your left shoulder, drop your right shoulder, twist. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, twist in the other direction. Look over your right shoulder, drop your left. Inhale, back to horse, hands to heart. Exhale, sit low, squat. Let it burn. Inhale, rise up, 5-pointed star. Exhale, warrior 2, back to the front of your room. Now check in on your feet. You should have heel to arch alignment. Front heel pointing directly to the arch of your back foot. Front knee stacked over ankle, shoulders over hips. Pulling your front knee open towards your pinky toe. Reaching arms long in opposite directions. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Bottom half of your body stays the exact same. Don't move it. Left arm slides down, right arm reaches high and back. Keep the integrity of the bend in your front knee. Feel the stretch along your right side body. Take an inhale. Exhale, probably your heads down to your mat. Find your chaturanga, high to low plank. Option to keep your right toes lifted or add extra push-ups. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Whew. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale, let go. Inhale your left leg high. Let's get into the other side. We'll take a little break after we do this side. Exhale, half pigeon. Get that left leg forward. Back leg long, toes untucked. Right. Try to get your shin as parallel to the front of the mat as you can. Fingertips out in front of you. Inhale, take a little bit of a baby back bend here. Exhale, rolling pigeon. Take it slow. Forehead touches the mat. And then inhale, rising up, keeping your chin on your chest as you rise. Stretch along the back of your neck. Inhale, little baby back bend. Take this one at your own pace. Lift your chin. Then exhale back to where we started. Drop into your left hip. Open up to the side. Where it's alongside of your mat. Heel toe your left foot in towards your inner right thigh. Left arm comes behind your left hip. Right arm is out in front of you. Inhale, stargazer. Roll onto your shin. Press your hips forward. Reach your right fingers back. Slight bend in the left elbow. Not locking out our joints here. Big stretch through the right side. Last breath here, inhale. And exhale, sit back into your hip. Reach your right arm all the way around for the outside of your right foot. Left arm high and over. Leaving that rainbow style stretch. But keeping the left shoulder open, so your chest is not squared towards your leg. You have an open shoulder. Gaze is slightly up here. Last breath here. All right, let's get into that crazy transition. Inhale, start to lift up high. Exhale, left hand down to the mat. Start to lift your hips. Right hand down to the mat. Flip it around. Keep your left knee lifted. Side plank to the other side. Left knee stays lifted. Left arm is reached high. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, lengthen. Press your toes and fingers in opposite directions. And then exhale, crunch, knee to elbow. Shh. Keep your left knee where it is. Inhale your left arm high. Exhale, high plank with knee to nose. Left hand comes down. Left knee is in towards your nose. Hold for the inhale. Exhale, low lunge. Step your left foot forward. Drop your back knee. How'd that one go? A little bit more smooth? You'll get one more time on each side, so you can smooth it out even more. Inhale, low crescent lunge. Arms come up high above your head. Pinkies facing forward. Back toes are going to remain tucked. Exhale, baby back bend and cat out your arms. Press into your front knee. Keep your balance. Squeeze your shoulders. Puff up your chest. Spread your fingers out wide. Exhale, let your hands come down to the mat, chin to chest, rounding it forward. So you kind of flow through a cat-like spine here. And then inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, baby back bend all the way down to your mat through your cat spine. Fingers drag. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, baby back bend. Fingers down to the mat, cat-like spine. Keep your back toes tucked because this time you're going to lift up into crescent lunge. Back knee lifts up off the mat. Front knee stacked over ankle, back leg is long, pressing energy out of your heel, pinkies facing forward. Inhale. Exhale, airplane arm crescent. Chest comes slightly forward. Sweep your arms back. If you need to adjust your feet, adjust your feet. Big bend in the front knee, triceps are burning. Inhale, Ekapadasana. Right knee is going to lift. Use your core for that transition. It can be tricky. Right toe is flexed, grounding down with the big toe of the standing foot, 90-degree angle in your right leg. Inhale. And exhale, figure four. Ankle over knee, hands to heart. Sit your hips down and back. Breathe here, 3 breaths. Inhale, rise up, back to Ekapadasana. Exhale, overarm twist to the right. No hands if you can help it. Right arm back, left arm forward. Find your twist, find your balance. One more breath here, you got this. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Step that right foot through, heels in, toes out. Give your hips a little bit of a break, legs a little bit of a break. But not for long, because you know we are coming back into horse. Exhale, hands to heart. Bring your hands down to your knees. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, look over your right shoulder, dip your left shoulder. Inhale, lift up, back to center. Exhale, look over your left shoulder, drop your right shoulder. Inhale, back up, hands to heart. Exhale, big squat, sit low, burn, yeah. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, warrior 2 to the front of the room. Now have a look down, check your legs, heel to arch alignment. Front knees stacked, pulling open towards your pinky toe. Shoulders over hips. Gaze is off your middle finger or out towards the window or whatever you see out there. Inhale, reverse your warrior, right arm sides down, left arm high and back. Stretching through your left side and your right side. So try not to just crunch into that right oblique. Lift up and then over. Hips are squared. Inhale. And exhale, curl your hands down to your mat. Flow through your chaturanga. Extra push-ups or one-legged or traditional or skip it, whatever you got. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale as you drop to your knees. Woo! All right, quick break before we start to flow. How's everyone feeling? Feeling good? What do you think of the flow? You liking it so far? Are you sweating? I'm sweating. Take a couple breaths here. I don't know what's going on with this hair. Have some sips. Catch your breath. And then meet me back in down dog in about 3 breaths here. We're going to flow through that sequence once, a little bit faster. And we're adding on just a little bit. Get ready for a little bit of added balance. All right, let's get into downward facing dog. Hips high and back. Take an inhale through your nose, fill it up. Open up, exhale, let it go. Let's blow. Inhale, right leg high, lift it. Exhale, half pigeon. Right shin comes forward. Back leg long, toes in tuck. Now my pigeons are feeling a little bit looser. How about you? Fingers out in front. Inhale, little baby back bend. Lift your chin and chest. Exhale, rolling pigeon. We're only doing one, so make it good. Make it slow. Forehead is going to tap down on the mat. Inhale, rise back up. Feel a stretch along the back of your neck until you lift at the top. And exhale, sit into your left hip and your right hip. Heel toe your right foot to your inner thigh, opening up to the side of the mat. Right arm behind you, left arm out in front of you. Inhale, stargazer. Press your hips forward, roll onto your shin. Fingers reach towards the back of the room. And exhale, sit back into your hips. Reach your left arm for the outside of your left leg. Right arm is going to come up and over, taking that rainbow stretch. Inhale, right arm high. Here comes the transition. Exhale, right hand to the mat as you lift your hips. Left hand to the mat. Roll it over. Side plank with a lifted right knee. Hold for the inhale. Exhale, lengthen it up. This should be an inhale. Exhale, crunch, knee to elbow. Shh. Inhale your right arm high. Exhale, high plank with knee to nose. Roll it over. Hold for your inhale. Exhale, step your right foot through. Drop your back knee. Inhale, arms high, low crescent lunge. Exhale, baby back bend, getting straight into our rolls. Roll it forward. Inhale, rise it up. Exhale, baby back bend, roll it forward. Last one, inhale, rise it up. Exhale, baby back bend, roll it forward. This time rising all the way up to crescent lunge. Inhale. Exhale, airplane arm, warrior 3. Adding on. Launch onto your right foot. Left heel presses behind you, finding your airplane arms. Dial your pinky toe down, hips are squared. Inhale, Ekapada Tadasana, use your core. Ooh. Ooh. It's a tough one today. Draw that left leg out in front of you. Find your balance. Inhale. Exhale, figure four. Left ankle over knee. Hands to heart center. Save your hips back. All right, adding on here. We're gonna see if we can find a forward fold. Rolling with the chest, and then bringing your hands down to your blocks, your mat. Maybe you brought one hand around your ankle, maybe two around your ankle. Whatever feels good here. Get that stretch going. We're gonna get into flying figure fours for our feet posture. So you're gonna need comfort in this forward fold. Last breath here. And our inhale's coming into Ekapada Tadasana, big transition. Lift it up, left knee out in front of you, arms up above your head. Exhale, open arm twist to the left. Inhale, 5-pointed star, step it through. Heels in, toes out. Exhale, horse, hands to heart. Heels in, toes out. Now, you're gonna lift your heels. So you're balancing on the balls of your feet. We're gonna squat. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop your heels. Inhale, arms high, 5-pointed star. Exhale, warrior 2 to the front. Inhale, reverse your warrior, paint the sky. Exhale, chaturanga, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Breath before this other side. Inhale to your nose. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, half pigeon. Left shin forward. Back leg long, toes in tucked. Inhale, little baby back bend. Exhale, rolling pigeon, slow it down. Extra breaths here. Inhale, roll it up. Chin stays on your chest as you rise. Exhale, sit into your hip. Roll over to the side of your mat. Heel toe that right foot to your inner thigh. Left arm behind you, right arm out in front of you. Inhale, stargazer. Press your hips forward. Roll onto your shin. Reach right fingers back. And exhale, sit back into your hip. Reach your right hand to the outside of your right foot. Left arm up and over. Big stretch. Inhale, left arm high. You know where we're going. This is our last one, last chance. Exhale, left hand to the mat. Lift your hips. Right hand to the mat. Twist it over. Inhale, left arm high. Left leg high. Roll for the exhale. Inhale, extend. Fingers and toes in opposite directions. Exhale, crunch. Reach your left arm high. Inhale. Exhale, high plank with knee to nose. Hold the inhale. Exhale, step your left foot forward, low lunge. Drop your back knee. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, baby back bend. Practice it out. Right into our rolls, hands down to the mat. Roll it forward. Inhale, rise it up. Exhale, baby back bend. Roll it forward. Inhale, rise it up. Exhale, baby back bend. Roll it forward. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, airplane arm, warrior 3. Launching onto our left foot. Right heel lifts. Right toes flex down towards the mat. Slight bend in that left knee. Body's long like a plank, palms towards the floor. Inhale, Ekapada Tadasana. Right knee lifts up in front of you. Exhale, figure 4. Ankle crosses over knee. Hands to heart. Hold for your inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to the mat, to your blocks, around your ankle. Whatever you need here. A few extra breaths to get used to this fold. Kind of like we did in our seated posture, huh? Except now we're using our balance. All right, inhale up to Ekapada Tadasana. Use your core and your hips and your hammies. Press into that foot, that heel. Right leg lifts high. Exhale, open arm twist to the right, right arm back. Inhale, 5-pointed star, step it through, heels in, toes out. Exhale, horse, hands to heart. Lift up off your heels onto the balls of our feet. Pulse, pulse. Here for 5, 2, 1. Drop your heel, squat low. Inhale, 5, point a star. Exhale, warrior 2 to the front. Inhale, reverse your warrior, right arm down, left arm high. Exhale, chaturanga, high to low plank. Cartwheel it down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to your nose. Exhale, drop to your knees. Woo! Done with flowing. How's everyone feeling out there? How did those transitions go? Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about that pigeon to side plank transition. Little weird? Feel good? Let me know how you like it. All right, we're gonna get into core. Take a quick sip. You didn't think I'd put a power flow class without core, did ya? I wouldn't do that to you. All right, down onto our backs. Let's roll onto our left side. On our left side, our left leg is gonna, or left arm rather, is gonna come arm out long in front of us. Right arm is gonna come behind our right, well, we only have one head. Right arm is gonna come behind your head, not your right head. Knees are going to stay bent. On your inhale, you're gonna lengthen, maybe straighten out your knees here. Exhale, you're gonna crunch, knee to elbow, keep your knees in. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, crunch. If you want to add a challenge, keep your legs straight. Here for 10. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it high. Pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll around to the other side. Onto our right side. Right arm is out long. Left arm is behind our head. Legs are out straight. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to crunch. Knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch. Lengthen, crunch. You kept your legs straight on the other one. Keep them straight here for 10. 5. Hold high in 3, 2, 1. Start to pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll onto your back. Option to bring a block in between your ankles, or you can just send your legs high if you don't have a block, no biggie. Hands down by your sides. We're gonna take little heel lifts. We're gonna take momentum out of it so that we really use our lower abdominals here. Little to no weight in your fingertips. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you're going to lower your block or your heels to hover above the mat, and we're going to pulse, pulse, pulse. Here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Full body stretch. Stretching it out here. Good work, you guys. Pull your knees into your chest. Roll up into a seat. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. Somehow we are already to an hour and I had like 20 more minutes of class planned. I practiced this yesterday and I did it in an hour, so I don't know what happened here, but I'm gonna show you how to get into figure four, flying figure four, and then I'm gonna end class. So if you wanna keep working on your flying figure four, you are totally warmed up to continue working on your flying figure four. But I teach another class in 15 minutes, so I'm gonna head out after this. I do not know how this happened. I swear I practiced this yesterday, but you know what? You gotta roll with the punches sometimes. All right, so really quickly, for our flying figure four, you can use blocks or no blocks. You're gonna make your way into your figure four, hands to heart, and then we're gonna come into our forward fold. Now, if this feels really far away, bring your hands to your blocks. Maybe you just stay right here. I'm gonna go no blocks for this. Maybe you start to come into the inversion where you bend your elbows like chaturanga, get your knee up on your tricep, wrap your toes around your opposite elbow, lean forward, press into your fingertips, and then maybe you lift your toes. Sometimes they lift, sometimes they don't. All right, that is our flying figure four, which we have prepped for today. So if you wanna work on your flying figure four, go ahead and get straight into it. If you are ready for Shavasana, then go ahead and make your way onto your back. I'll grab the bowls for you. I don't know how that happened. If you're making your way onto your back, start to close your eyes. Take an inhale through your nose, fill it up. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Sink into your mat. Start to unfurrow through your brows, relax through your forehead. Take a scan of your body and relax every muscle along the way. From the crown of your head to your toes. I'm really sorry to go so fast on this. I usually like to walk you all the way down, but I'm gonna get straight into your sound bath. So take an inhale and a big exhale. Clear your mind. short. I'm going to leave you in Shavasana today. I want you to see if you can take 10 breaths here without getting distracted. 10 breaths of stillness, of silence, absorbing the healing elements of your practice. It's my pleasure to be here with you. Thank you for sharing your space, your energy, your breath with me. Namaste.